What's going on, beautiful people? Thank you for tuning in and watching my videos. I appreciate your appreciation. And in this video, we're gonna talk about an interesting concept that has sort of grasped my attention as of late. And it's this concept of soul contracts. So there's this idea out there that before you come into this, and I'm discussing this idea just purely based on this for discussion's sake, because I find anything weird, anything that gets me to laugh, or anything that gets me to laugh at it is for me interesting and weird, and I would like to discuss it more and see where it takes me, right? Again, stoner talk here. But I like it. I like it. I like the absurd. I like the strange. I like the weird. So any sort of weird ideas you'll see me discuss here, and even think about them in my own life, and see if they hold any validity. And so the idea is this: the idea that you're eternal. To me, that's not even an idea. To me, that's a fact, right? You're an eternal stream of consciousness. So obviously you're just like an immigrant to this planet. You come in here, you experience it a little bit, and then peace out, motherfuckers. I'm out of here. The idea is you jump into this character that you're in, but you have a pre-birth and after death, the main lobby essentially. And that's kind of where you go on, like, if you really get blasted on acid or mushrooms, or if you smoke DMT, you go into that realm. If you have a near-death experience, you go into that realm, right? It really exists. It's true. It's there. Pre-birth, afterlife, it's the same place. You come into here, you come back. And as you slide here into a vagina, right? Like it's, you come from the other dimension, from the main lobby, slide into a vagina, and boom, pop out in this dimension. You're given an amnesia because it's just more practical. You're here for a certain purpose, for a certain mission, for certain experiences. So the idea of soul contracts is, before you come here, you sign contracts, right? And, I don't know, this could be literally in you grabbing paper in the metaphysical world. Physicality doesn't exist, right? So you just make, I guess you just verbally, telepathically, did I say it right? Telepathically. You telepathically make agreements with other souls that you're gonna meet them here, and you're gonna have an encounter with them, and that encounter serves or has the purpose of evolving both of you. Now, whether that actually ends up evolving both of you, it's up to you right here in this spawn, in this incarnation, to evolve or not. So the purpose, you make the contract and you say, okay, I'm gonna meet you on Earth, and our relationship is gonna be to try and make each other better and try to evolve each other's consciousness and souls. Now, whether you actually do that or not, again, it depends on you, your consciousness, how you are in this life. But this is the purpose of it. You set the intention, right? You intend. You intend. It's like going into a game, you intend to score a goal. Sometimes you score the goal, sometimes you don't, right? But that's the intention you set. And you set that intention with a bunch of other souls. So that's like anyone you have like a close relationship with here, or even a brief encounter, like, your mom, your dad, your siblings, your romantic lovers, your close friends, people who you come into contact just briefly with, and you just like, you have a brief contact. Sometimes it could be as brief as, I don't know, like a conversation that you've had on the street with someone that you're never gonna see again. But like I remember this, when I was getting into this hippie shit, and I was really like heavily experimenting with psychedelics at the time. I remember meeting a guy in the woods, and his friends. He had two other friends as well. I forget his name. And it was me and my friend, and we were walking there, and I don't know why we walked there. We saw these guys. They stopped us and said something, and we said something back, very friendly. And then we ended up chilling with them for 2 hours. 2 hours. They smoked us up. They had some joints. I was sober in that day. It was a Saturday, I remember. Beautiful sunny morning, right? And they invited us. I smoked a joint with them. And then I bonded with one of these guys, like for 2 hours. We were talking about next level shit. Straight up stoner talk. For like 2 hours, man. 2 hours. Like we were talking about everything. We were talking about like conspiracies. We talked about changing the world. He had a son with him. He was there, right? And he's a guy, he's got tattoos all over, man. He's been to jail. Like he's got quite a story behind him. Quite a story. Such a sweetheart. Amazing guy, right? Conscious to what's going on around him. Grew up in a very difficult part of the city that I'm in. So anyway, we bonded for like 2 hours. You know, just amazing, amazing guy. Just remembering him right now, just want to fucking give him a hug. And that's it. I never saw him again. I probably never will. You know, who knows? Maybe I will, but that's it. You know, but I think that was a way for us. Maybe we made that contract to come into each other's lives at some point and just salute each other. Because that's really how it felt like. It felt like we came in here and this, whatever conversation we had for those 2 hours, we both needed that conversation. We both needed to share. Because at the time, I needed to share my ideas with someone else and I wasn't finding that someone. Boom. Maybe he also was like thinking of all these things, doesn't have anyone to share these ideas with, you know, like to the depth that we went to anyway. Because we went very deeply, right? Boom. There you go. So maybe we made this agreement that at some point in both of our spawns in this current lifetime, we will come in contact and just salute each other on the way, on as we navigate through this spawn, as we navigate through this journey, this incarnation. And really, looking back at it right now, it felt like that. It felt like, you know, we made this agreement. So the idea is that everyone you meet, you agreed and you have a conversation, you talk to, you encounter, you have like a, even as it could be brief or it could be like for the rest of your life. You already made these contracts at a soul level before you come in here and you had amnesia. You already know your soulmate. You already made. Now do I believe in a soulmate? Well, here's the thing. I'm very much iffy on that because I believe everything happens for a reason. I believe nothing is by accident, especially the people you meet. So therefore, by that belief, probably I would probably believe in the idea of a soulmate, but I don't believe in it in the traditional sense. Not at all. I believe that actually, yes, for each one of us, there is like that one person that's gonna tingle your balls and you're gonna tingle her ovaries, right? Literally tingling, meaning like there's that insane push on every level. But that doesn't mean that's the only person you're gonna be with. It could be your primary lover. I'm more on believer in humans are more polygamous in nature. They're attracted to a wide range of people and they are by nature designed to take on several lovers. But I definitely think there is that primary lover, that one person that really, I believe in that one person that really touches you on a very deep level and you touch them on a very deep level. That's more of my idea of the soulmate. Anyway, but even the idea of the soulmate or even, you know, just anybody you meet, romantic lovers or friends, like close friends you have now. Like sometimes I'm looking at them, I'm like, you know, without them knowing, right? I'm like, you know, we made this fucking agreement. You know, I'm like, in my mind, you know, I have like friends, we don't talk about this stuff, you know, we talk about different stuff. They're amazing people. And I like to hang around people that talk about this shit or into this shit, but I also like to hang around people that are completely out of this scene. I like to hang around, you know, different variety of people. So some of my friends that are just not into this hippy-dippy shit, I look at them sometimes, I'm like, you know, we made this agreement. You know, we made this before, right? And then I have friends who are into this shit and we talk about it. We're like, you think we made this agreement? And it feels like we did. It feels like we did make the agreement to come in here and sort of be each other's friends for a little while and be there for each other. So your family, same thing, right? You make the agreement with your parents before coming here. You agree to be their son. They agree to be your parents. You make the agreement with your siblings. Hey, my siblings, I come in here to be your siblings and for whatever purpose, whatever lessons, right? Like me and my parents don't get along. So we probably made that agreement that we're going to come in here and we're not going to get along and both of us have to learn something along the way. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't mean like you made the agreement that, oh, we're going to come in here and make each other's lives flowers and stuff. It's like, no. No, you should see my relationship with my parents. It's very rocky. But I think on a soul level, we all agreed to this dynamic because we each have lessons to learn. Different lessons for each soul, depending on its journey, how many times it's been here, how many games, how many spawns it's had, how much learning has it done. Maybe you're spawning mindlessly and you're not learning anything. Maybe you didn't even have that many spawns, but each spawn you made a difference in it, you learned. So it's all depending on what's your learning curve and everything. But also that also dictates that you also have contracts with or agreements that certain events are going to happen to you, that you're going to find yourself in certain circumstances. And again, just going back into my life, there are certain things in my life that just seemed like I agreed to. One of them being or studying chemical engineering, right? I hated chemical engineering. I don't work in the field. But I feel like I agreed to go to that specific university, do that specific degree, to meet the specific people that I met that I'm still brothers for life with from those years. You understand what I'm saying? So like, it's almost like, plus all the things I learned from like doing the degree, right, are serving me now in my own projects, in my own personal projects and dreams in the world, right? Following my passion, my dream. Learned a lot of things in those 6 years, right? It's not just the garbage. So many things that are with me right now. So I probably agreed to go through, not just that, when you guys see me talk about following your dreams, following your passion, I talk from a deep place in the heart. Why? I've done something I hated for 6 fucking years. So I know what it's like to do something you hate. But what if I hadn't agreed to that? I wouldn't be preaching following your dreams and passion then. Because I wouldn't have experienced enough contrast to tell people follow your dreams and follow your passion. You see where this is going? If I had completely had normal childhood, very supporting, guiding parents, saw what I was good at, guided me into that, never would have experienced the contrast of doing something I hate for 6 years, I never would have had the urge inside of me, right, to preach about following your dreams and passion. You see that contrast. So I agreed to experience the contrast so that I can do what I'm here to do, my mission in this world. You see, which is part of it is empowering people, also freeing or helping people. I don't free shit, man. Hey, you know, you free yourself. I don't free anything. But be an active participant in raising the consciousness of the planet, but also in getting people to know what their dreams, what their passions are, to live more meaningful, fulfilling lives. Again, had I not experienced the contrast, had I not agreed on a soul level to experience that contrast, then I just don't know if I would be preaching the ideas that I'm preaching right now. And I don't know even if I preach them, I don't know if I would be preaching them with much passion and energy and understanding of what it's like to do something you hate. You see? So this is probably why you don't see guys like Messi and Ronaldo preach about following your dreams and passion, because they've been fucking doing it since the age 4, age 5. So they don't really exactly perceive of the concept of doing something you hate. I mean, you don't see them. You don't see Messi and Ronaldo talk about following your heart. They don't have the urge to do that. I'm not speaking against them. I love both of them. They're my idols. But I'm saying that their purpose is different. Their mission in life is different. But they don't have that urge that I have to preach about following dreams and passion. They've been doing it since they were 4. Since they slid into a vagina, into this dimension, they've been playing football. All they know is doing what they love since they were little kids. And their parents were very supportive of it, right? If they didn't have supporting parents, they wouldn't be here. Messi, his manager is his dad, right? And Ronaldo, his parents let him go out of where he lived. So, they supported him. Bottom line is, we agree to these things on a soul level. We agree to come in here and experience certain situations, certain circumstances, certain life paths that we agree to. We agree the people that we meet here, if it's your romantic lovers, if it's your parents, if it's your family, all of that, we agree to it on a soul deep level before coming here. And we will remember all of this once we get the fuck out of here. We will remember it fully. Right now we're going through this remembering phase. but we can't say for certain. Like, I can't tell you for certain I made these contracts. It feels like it's right. It feels like everything has a purpose. Everything has a meaning. It feels like the people that I come in contact with, it's meant to happen. It feels like it. But I can't tell you, oh yeah, like I remember, you know, like, oh yeah, I remember, you know, we signed these contracts. I can't tell you that, but I can tell you I have this gut feeling about it that it feels right. But you will remember it all, like all of it, once you get the fuck out of here. Slide out of this dimension, right? We come in sliding into a vagina, but I don't know how we slide out. I think we just fucking go, I don't know. I don't know how we slide out. So we slide out of the dimension, back into the main lobby. You probably will remember all of this shit. So I just thought I want to share this idea. There definitely seems to be people who have a meaning in life, who see meaning in everything, have happier lives, have more fulfilling lives. If you read Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, he said what kept him going, he kept going he was captured in the Holocaust, right? What kept him going, and he managed to stay alive. He said, I found meaning in my suffering. And it really seems that if you find meaning in your life, you will not only go on longer and you have a more resilience and endurance. And he said, the people who made it past the Holocaust are the people who found meaning in their suffering. So this idea of soul contracts gives everything meaning, which makes life more spicy, more interesting. But also, you will get this feeling like, yeah, this is meant to happen. I have somehow agreed to all this shit. I've agreed to meet all these people. I've agreed to get in a relationship with this person and really like make each other's lives miserable. We both agreed to that. And hopefully we learned something. Because if you didn't learn, then that intention you set initially before coming here wasn't met. But if you are of the learning mindset, then you maybe meet these intentions, right? So it's just nice to see meaning in everything you do and everything that happens to you. Even if you don't want to believe in it, it just makes life more interesting. And I'm always in for making life more interesting. I'm always in for it. So I like to take on the idea. I like to make it part of my consciousness and saying, you know what, everything is meant to be. Everything happens for a reason. The people that I meet, nothing by accident. It's all, I've agreed to this shit. They've agreed to this shit. And we're just playing out these characters and plot lines, and it's all stories. God got too bored. God said, I'm going to divide myself. I'm going to create this really, really, really beautiful, magnificent movie called Planet Earth. I'm going to divide myself into these little parts and experience different plot lines and different characters. Anyway, that's it. God bless you all, guys. I love every single one of you, but don't forget to subscribe. Oh, actually, based on that idea, we all agreed. I agreed to come in here and speak to you. You've agreed to come here and listen to me. So that gives it another meaning, that you were meant to find this channel and I was meant to find you, and we were all meant to find each other. So again, it just makes it like more interesting, right? But as always, don't forget to subscribe or you're going to sleep with the fishes.